Hi class, my name is Emily Eckenroth, and for my adaptation project, I did the creative option and chose to create a painting to reflect my adaptation. I have chosen Act 1, Scene 1 from The Tempest as the focus for my adaptation. While reading the play, I kept thinking to myself that Prospero almost resembled a godlike figure to me in the play. His use of magic, which allowed him to do and create things that no human could do, brought me to this conclusion at first. Though, as I continued on reading the play, I saw parallels to the repentance God gives his subjects in Catholicism to the repentance Prospero was giving Alonso and Sebastian. This being said brings me to why Act 1, Scene 1 is the most important scene in my analysis. The Tempest scene not only forms the foundation of the play, but also exhibits Prospero's magic-like powers, which can also be seen as godlike when he creates the Tempest. Additionally, through the Tempest, Prospero is bringing Alonso and Sebastian to his island to confess for their sins, to see that sinning has consequences, and then he forgives them just how God would during repentance. I know that this may be hard to see for some people due to Prospero's tyrannical appearance on the surface, but deep down, Prospero does not subjugate his subjects or have them act by his own free will, while he could with all the power that he holds. Instead, Prospero leads them on a morally awakening journey that sometimes uses fear as a way to teach a lesson to those who have wronged him. Now, moving on to my creative piece, this is my painting of Act 1, Scene 1, also known as the Tempest scene. I just want to give you a closer look at it so you can see the fine details and also to explain why I depicted the characters the way I did, and as well as the background, etc. So, moving on. This here is Prospero, and I kind of used the Greek mythology to represent how I wanted him to look. And the reason I chose Greek mythology was actually because of the mask scene. Because during the mask scene in the play, Shakespeare actually uses Greek gods and goddesses in it, such as Iris, the goddess of rainbows, and the messenger of the gods. Ceres, which is also known as Demeter, the goddess of earth and agriculture, and Juno, the Greek goddess of marriage, mothers, and families. And additionally, while it wasn't directly in the play, it was something I just kind of saw was that Caliban's mother, Syrinx, also parallels the Greek goddess Hecate, which is the goddess of magic and crossroads and dark and unknown forces. So that was just something that I kind of thought about. So that's why I chose Prospero to represent Zeus, a combination of Zeus and Poseidon. So I did that because Poseidon is the god of the ocean and the sea, and that because Zeus is the god of the sky. And I felt like both of those kind of compound together, kind of helped create the Tempest. So that's why I got that as my image for Prospero. And so moving on to the rest of the scene. So you can see that the lightning here, it kind of I wanted you to see that Prospero was holding it as if the power is coming from Prospero, and then trailed on over here to this figure, which is meant to be Ariel. And the reason that I represented him as white and with angel wings is because I wanted him to give off angel-like features and such. And then moving on, this is the ocean and the Tempest, and then here is Sebastian and Alonso's ship. And I also wanted to show you guys how it glitters a little bit, and that is because I added the glitter to it just to make sure that you got to really emphasize the power and magical that this scene has. So try and move it in the light, and I hope you guys can see it. But yeah.